Hey everybody.
Hello.
So we have decided to change the name of our little podcast show here to Rise and Shine. So that, because, we're doing this in the morning, so, kind of incorporates the, Rise and Shine portion, but also just kind of like rising up, rising above, and shining a light for, those around us to also see that as well. So we are, we're here with you every Saturday. We weren't here last Saturday because we went away for the weekend, but, for our makeup for Valentine's Day, because he was working, so.
I have a funny story on that.
Oh, what's your story?
With the guy knocking on the door.
Oh. Okay.
So, this is about 12:30 at night, and I hear a knock on the door. I'm like, what's going on? I didn't order room service. Who's knocking? So I get up and I go to grab the robe and put it on and get another knock. I'm like, I'm coming. So I open this door and there's a young kid, like 19, 20. He has like aviator style glasses, like a trucker hat and a vest. And he's like, I'm here to be the girl. And I was just like, not in this room, you're not. He's like, oh, sorry. And I just shut the door on him and just lock it. But it's like, he was probably getting like catfished or something.
Oh, man, that would be hilarious. I kind of hope that, like, this video, like, he comes across this video somehow and be like, crap, now I'm, like, out there. And the world knows my business.
But it's like, chances of, like, what the heck? Then I tell the story out people at work and they find it so funny because it's just like...
That's awesome.
But that was like kind of like a interesting highlight of made it definitely a memorable weekend.
Yeah. Oh, it was a really good weekend. But anyway, but we're back with you, and we should be here. Well, we'll try to be every Saturday, but in reality, it's probably going to be most Saturdays because, life happens,
Yeah.
But yeah. So if you see him putting on any Orajel, his tooth is bothering him, so he's got a dentist appointment on Monday.
Got it ripped out.
Yeah, he had a broken tooth. Yeah, he was eating and a piece of his tooth just like broke. And so he had to go to the dentist and they filled it, but now there's some kind of issue further and it's causing him a lot of pain, so...
They want to do a root canal or pull it, and I'm like, no root canal for me, just yank it out.
Yeah. I would do the same thing. I was actually told by a dental hygienist never to get a root canal. So, I mean, take that for what it's worth to you, but
each to their own kind of thing.
Yeah, but that's what she said, and I trust her, and so yeah. But anyway, so we have some news articles lined up for you guys, and some conversation, and coffee and tea, and some Bible reading, and
these are fairly recent news articles. They might be old to some people or new to some people, so. But it's within, last month or so. Yeah,
well, I know, because I know the one that I have is, I was going to do it last week, but last Saturday, but we weren't here, so I bumped it to this Saturday, because I really wanted to touch on it. It's a good one. I think it would provoke some decent conversation, some decent banter here from us, But yeah, if you are liking what you're hearing so far, or if you watching us further and you like what you hear, give us a subscribe, give us a thumbs up, Share, yeah. And yeah, subscribe to us, and so you can get alerted when we go, when we post new stuff every week. But did you want to pray before we get started, or?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Lord, thank you for this day, God. Just let what we say when reading your word, that people receive it and understand it, Lord. In your name, Jesus, amen.
Amen.
So did you want to do your articles first?
Well, we can just do back and forth.
Yeah, I know, but did you want to start?
Yeah, I can. All right, you got to bring it up, because where's Viber? I sent him my links because you guys are on my phone. So we're just using back and forth on. Okay. So this is the one I was going to do from last week. So apparently, I'm opening up the article, sorry. Okay, so this is from February 15th. And, oh, goodness gracious. Pop-ups, jeez. It's so annoying. Okay. So, on the 2-year anniversary of the invocation of the Emergencies Act, Freedom Convoy, have you heard about this?
Might have.
Because your face, okay, so Freedom Convoy organizers and protesters who had their bank accounts unlawfully frozen by the government have served Justin Trudeau and Chrystia Freeland with lawsuits.
Nice.
Yes. And others too. Other people that were also involved, but those were the two big names that they were. And it's $2 million in damages, looks like, each.
Each person?
I don't know. It's kind of unclear if that's each person being Justin and Chrystia, and however the others are, or if it's for each person that had their bank account. It's a little unclear in this article.
I hope it's like per person.
But I hope so too. Oh man. Yeah, because a judge ruled the measures to be unconstitutional. Yeah. After.
Well, I bet they'll just take it out of the Canadian coffers and not their personal bank accounts.
Well, see, I was reading other stuff on this too, because I knew I wanted to talk about it, right? And so they were saying that it was likely going to come from taxpayer money.
So that's stupid.
So it's
from his money.
Yeah.
They're not getting affected.
Yeah.
It's like they should freeze their accounts, take the money out of their accounts, and go from there.
Yeah. So I'm not exactly sure. I think it's a good thing that it was found unconstitutional, and I think it's a great thing that they were sued. But if they turn it around and it comes back on the taxpayers, on us, you know what I mean? Like
it just hurts Canada.
Yeah, and I feel like they'll find a way to try and do that.
More than likely.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm hoping that it just comes out of their wallets, but I don't know. Let me see. There was another one that had to do with this. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything, because Pierre Polyev spoke on this too. He's eating chicken. I don't know if you can hear him purring or not, but he is really happy right now. Andrew had some chicken for lunch, and he loves chicken. He is like
a chicken fiend.
Yeah, and so he threw him a little piece, and he's finally eating
That's
it.
a third piece.
Oh, a third piece.
I threw him 2 others before.
Oh, jeez Louise.
He kept on begging. Well, when he begs, he actually is polite about it. He just sits there patiently.
Yeah, we taught them to sit and be patient. which is funny because we've taught the cats a few different things.
You can teach a cat something, it just takes a lot longer than the dog.
Yeah. Yeah, and this one's unclear as well. It says the lawsuits seek $2 million in damages. So maybe it's just $2 million across the board, but that wouldn't give people a lot of money.
It would give nothing.
Yeah, because there was a lot of people involved.
Even if you donated,
people from the States even. I don't know how their bank accounts.
They probably couldn't touch it because it's
from the States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I hope it's $2 million per person.
I do too.
People lost a lot.
Well, I say that, but then if it comes out of our pockets, then I really don't.
Well, I hope it comes out of his pocket.
Yeah, me too. Oh, me too.
The guy has so much money, like in overseas accounts.
Yeah. Oh, there was one thing that he said that I wanted to. I think it was toward the end of this article. Sorry. Yeah. So Pierre Poilievre was quoted as saying, Justin Trudeau only has two principles. One is that the government should control everybody, and two, that he should control the government.
Yeah, he's a dictator. He even said, you could find this quote anywhere, that he admires China's dictatorship. It's like, you don't want that guy in office.
Yeah. He also said the only way, Pierre Poilievre says this, the only way he keeps this control in light of the misery that he has unleashed is doubling housing costs, quadrupling carbon taxes, is by cracking down on the population and dividing people against each other, which is very funny because in light of everything that I was just talking about a couple weeks ago, with now this DEI thing with the bunch of the colleges are doing and stuff, this equity inclusion thing or whatever.
Diversity.
And they're actually like causing more division. Yeah. And it's even, there was another couple articles that I was going to talk on last week, but they actually touched on how it has been found to cause more division, which is why in America, they are, in the United States, they're taking measures to pull back on this DEI.
Yeah, hopefully they just scrap it.
Yeah, I hope so too. Because this racism thing is...
Yeah, that's a perfect segue to what I was
well, there we go.
So, I guess could be American because it's the American company Google.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, come on, open for me. I like my own post.
Technology.
Open. This isn't opening. Are you serious?
Close this out. Close Messenger. Oh, not that way. Problems.
Huh. It's right here.
They did something new and it tucks it behind. Mine does that too and it's annoying.
Okay, so the new Google's AI, Gemini, hates white people.
Oh, really?
I have pictures. It hates white people. So, I don't know if it will show up on the camera. I'll try to bring it as close as I can.
Yeah, you'll have to try and...
This is the AI generating Swedish women. So, imagine what a Swedish woman looks like.
Okay. Yo, please show that to them.
All right.
A Swedish woman.
This is supposed to be a Swedish
woman. So, a white chick, probably blondish
blonde hair.
Or lighter brown hair. Yeah.
Lighter color eyes.
Yeah.
So if you can see this, Apparently, that's a Swedish woman.
That is very bright on the camera.
Yeah, it is. And
But,
if you couldn't see it clearly, 3 of them are Asian looking, with darker skin, and 1 is a black woman.
I was gonna say there was this one here. There's a couple of them look like maybe like an Asian Pacific Islander kind of type. Or possibly native and indigenous of some nature.
And it's AI, so they just kind of like how it
kind of mix
things.
and match some things.
But they're definitely not white.
No.
and
that is highly disturbing.
Oh no! Don't do that.
You should turn your volume off.
Yeah,
preparation.
Yes, that's. Oh, come on. And here's another one.
I think you just took a picture of something.
Probably. And this picture is frightening. It's supposed to be. Again.
Maybe not.
It's here's our 4 representative images of NHL hockey players. Notice that woman's beard? That's like 3 feet long.
Wow.
It is like screwed up.
Yeah, and why does that guy's...
His hand's in her torso.
Yeah. You show... I don't know. That's...
And I don't know if you could see.
It's going to be pretty bright again, but...
It's... And again, those were supposed to be white people.
White people. Well, she ain't white.
No, and that dude looks like he's...
Because she, again, is like either East Indian or...
Yeah.
Something. Maybe from Middle Eastern something.
Something like that.
And he looks... I don't know.
They've been...
European of some nature. White, I guess, ish.
But you see all these images and they're just like... Totally not. It's like...
Wow. That is something.
What about something I saw this, and because it's like, I guess, Black History Month.
Yeah, it is February.
And there's like, let's celebrate a successful African American. There's a picture of Elon Musk.
Wow.
Because he's South African.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Probably got a lot of people mad. But
put Alvin on there. but yeah, wow. Huh. No, I never saw that.
Yeah, it's I've been seeing a lot of
I try to stay away from AI type articles and things because AI is straight satanic.
It's not good at all. But I've been seeing, and these how fast it learns. Who was the New York Times actually has a lawsuit going against GP.
Oh, Chat GPT.
Yeah, because the AI was learning from all their sources, so it's going through it, learning how to write articles and the like. And it was, if this lawsuit goes through, they'll have to delete everything and start from scratch.
Wait, delete.
So basically, take everything that the AI has learned, and delete it.
Oh.
So it'd be starting brand new with no information in it.
Huh. Well, I don't know about all that because I think there's demons behind that, and they got a heck of a lot of information. So.
I think they might definitely influence.
They may be pretending that they're playing dumb.
But anyhow, yeah, there's a big lawsuit from these AI companies because they're basically stealing information.
So, okay, let me just, so that I am getting this right. So, ChatGPT is the one that's doing the lawsuit?
No, the New York Times.
New York Times is
Suing.
Okay.
Because they sourced all their information.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, yeah, okay.
So I don't know if that's going to go through, and the number 2 billion.
He got his chicken and he's happy and he's running about.
a $2 billion lawsuit.
Oh.
2, yeah.
See, these people know how to do it. They know how to do lawsuits in the States here. In Canada, no, we'll get $2 million for everybody. We'll just blanket it. Listen, stop saying sorry.
Sorry?
Stop saying...
Sorry.
Yes. Stop saying sorry and get your money, Get crap done.
And sorry, that just popped in my head. So this goes back to last weekend. We're just sitting on the bed watching some TV, and we happened to be just stuck on Family Channel, and they're playing Degrassi Junior High.
No, it wasn't Family Channel. What was that?
It was Family Channel.
No, it was something else, but it had the word family that popped up on the...
Yeah, that's the Family Channel.
No, it wasn't, because I thought it was, and I was wrong. But whatever, it doesn't matter.
So, Degrassi Junior, it actually was like 3, you grew up with these, saw the shows as the kids grew up. There's Degrassi Street, and like little kids, then Degrassi Junior High, then Degrassi High. And this is Canadian TV. So it's very, very low budget. But
I'm very, very grateful that I grew up in the States. And that I grew up when I did. Man, those 80s and 90s.
But
gotta love it.
Paula's like, I got her hooked on these old shows. She's like, now I want to watch it.
Well, because I didn't see the very early one. I saw like Degrassi Junior High and an episode of and 2 episodes, I think, of Degrassi High.
Yep.
But they had like the same characters, so it was kind of ish easy to follow. But yeah, it was just you want to find out how the story ended, Anyway, so let's get back to the articles.
So I got sidetracked.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. So this is also a Trudeau and Pierre Poilievre thing. And so, how you were saying that we have in Canada there's no more kind of freedom of speech or whatever, and you have been canceled for hate speech and stuff online and all that, you're not allowed to, and you'll get arrested or whatever.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. So you were saying that was already in effect, and it had been for a year or so.
Yeah, from my understanding anyways.
Yeah, so it hasn't been.
Okay.
Yeah, but it will be now.
Huh.
I believe it said... Oh, no, sorry. It just says coming... It says the Liberals' long-promised ban on online harms is expected in the coming weeks.
Okay.
So, yeah, and it's just about online hate speech and or, hate speech. So much stuff now can be like
I'm offended. It's
called hate speech when it's actually not by any means, but it's now people are calling it. So, and let's see what Pierre has to say about everything, because we like Pierre. Let's see. He calls it an assault on free speech, which, yes, it is. So he says, when Justin Trudeau, what does Justin Trudeau mean when he says worst hate speech? He said, I can't say that word. I'm just not gonna. He said, he means, and this is a quote from Pierre, he means, talking about Justin Trudeau, speech that he hates. And that's what is referred to as hate speech.
Okay, so he could just decide on a whim he hates this.
Yeah. Well, that is not what he did with the whole trucker thing, the convoy. Same sort of thing. Oh, I don't like this, so...
He went into hiding.
Well, good. But still, though, he didn't like it, and so he tried to find a way, a way around it or whatever to stop it and to, stop these people and, and now look at the repercussions that he's facing, or potentially us. I'll just pass it back to you for now.
Right. Is this mine?
No, that's mine. I don't know what article you wanted.
I wanted. This is in America, but this is in France.
Oh, France.
They're already having enough troubles and they're pushing more stupid things. But France wants to criminalize medical dissonance by punishing anti-vaccine message with a hefty fines and jail time. Okay,
dissonance. Can you explain that word for me? Because I just want a clear definition.
You're basically ignoring what the government's telling you to do.
Okay.
So we're going to inject this in you. What is it? It doesn't matter. Here it is.
Ha. No.
And if you say no, now I'm going to fine you. And
no.
The fines include like a fine of 45,000 euros.
So how much is that American?
American? I
or
don't know.
Canadian?
Let's see.
Whatever.
Let's find out.
I'm American, so I think American-like. He's Canadian, so, he thinks Canadian-like.
All right.
Actually, he thinks more American-like.
In U.S. dollars, that's $48,764.25.
That's a lot.
So close to 50 grand.
Yeah.
For saying, I don't want this unknown thing in me. And it's up to several years in jail.
For you get both? Fined and? Or is one or the other? Oh, so like if you don't have the money...
They'll throw you in jail for several years. This is how much is several? Is that 3, 5, 7, 10?
So like it's basically... I just said this to you this morning. Things are reverting back to how like they used to be. And right here, this is biblical. They would do that, and if you couldn't pay, they'd fine you, and if you couldn't pay your fine, they'd put you, they would determine how much in their mind per year, and they would...
A debtor's person.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it wasn't even just biblical, it carried on throughout, however many, what was it, like, still in the...
They have it in Europe.
I was going to say, in Europe, in England, yeah.
Oh, I don't have this money, so, okay, jail for you, and you usually worked. When you were in jail, whatever tasks they had you to do, it was probably, hard manual labor.
Yeah, and that wasn't even that long ago that they were still doing that. What, like 100 years, couple hundred years?
Probably a couple. I don't know if when Debtors prison stopped, but
Well, apparently they haven't, because we're going into it in France.
and all the people that are making the decisions aren't doctors. Not one.
Well, of course not.
They go, I'm an expert. So you gotta listen to me. I'm an expert.
You know what? So my parents have always told me that the definition, if you break down the word expert, the definition, like, the X is a has-been, and spurt is a drip under pressure. So, yeah, every time I hear the word expert, I always think about that.
But it's like, okay, so it's this thing is gonna happen in France. Where else are they gonna put it? Like,
Ooh,
what
yeah.
other countries actually need a plug-in?
I was about to say, your battery is draining. Boy, you really are unprepared today.
Your mother's unprepared.
Your mother's unprepared. I hope that your mother, or, well, you know, doesn't see this.
What did you say? You're being so rude. I just hear my mom just getting me in trouble with this.
I know. Yes, well.
Thought I had more power. You have no power here, Gandalf.
I'll see when I post that if I can maybe edit that little part out. We'll see. Maybe not. Maybe it'll be funny enough to keep. Oh, my turn? Sorry.
Yes,
Okay.
your turn.
Okay, so, oh shoot, where is this? Here's me, okay. My phone and his phone are the exact opposite. They're both Samsungs, but he has his laid out the exact opposite of my layout, and it drives me mental. Canadians versus Americans in real life.
I'm right.
Listen. Okay, so you're gonna like this one. I'm feeling like you're gonna have something to say. BC. Now see, he's from BC, so, and he's from close by-ish. BC serial killer Robert Picton becomes eligible for day parole.
Okay.
What do you mean, okay? Listen. You just... Why is this upsetting me more than it's upsetting you?
I'm just not surprised by it.
Okay, well, alright. Well, I know why it's upsetting me, because, well, if you know anything about Robert Picton, which I didn't until I moved up there with you, like, what was it now, 7.5 years ago?
Something like that.
Yeah, so...
And you're just like, what?
Yeah, and that's when I found out about Robert Picton. So, I'm just going to read some of this because some people might not know who and what he is. So when these people, the victims' friends and families, found out about this, they went to his farm and held a candlelight vigil. And so Picton was charged with murdering 26 women and would later claim his murder tally to be 49. In 2007, he was convicted of 6 counts of second-degree murder as well. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole for 25 years. Listen, how do you get life in prison without parole for only 25 years? Life in prison without parole is life in prison without parole. Boom.
It's Canada.
I'm sorry. I won out.
Sorry? Sound like a Canadian when you say that. Sorry.
I know. I did it on purpose. Oops, I just ran over your cord here with my foot. Okay. However, he will be eligible for day parole on Thursday. So this upcoming Thursday. And full parole in 2027.
Okay. So he's getting out in 2027. That's what they're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. And, yeah. So Robert Picton often preyed on women who were prostitutes, drug abusers, or homeless, inviting them to stay at his pig farm in, how do you say this, Port Coquitlam?
Yep.
Okay. Where they would later be raped, tortured, and killed. So cool. And then one of the victims' cousins is speaking out, and she's saying that she already doesn't trust the justice system, and this makes her not trust it even more because of the fact that she's calling this could be let out of jail. Or that he would even apply, because I guess you have to apply for parole. But it came up so that he was able to apply for it. And so he did. And now I guess he gets out on Thursday for his day parole. What? So he's not going to offend in the daytime? Well, he can only offend at night?
Yes.
Because, no, like... Ew. I am so grateful that we do not live in BC anymore, and that we do not live even remotely close to this man and his pig farm. Apparently her cousin's body was not ever found, but there was DNA of her body, like of her, that was found on the farm.
Well, he fed them to pigs.
Yeah, so you need to talk about that. Your little story there.
Oh, there's a lot of little stories.
Well, yeah, but
well, the Picton family has connections with the Hells Angels, or known to. But Robert Picton is a simpleton. There's not a lot going up there, so he was probably working with his older brother. They brought a woman in and did whatever and hacked them up and fed them to their pigs. And there's a lot of questionable stories around that whole place. But it's when the lady says she has no confidence in our justice system, well, we don't have a justice system. We have a legal system.
Yeah.
It's void of justice. It's like a person like that should have been hung. We used to have the death penalty in Canada. I think it stopped in the 70s. Don't quote me on that. But I think it was by hanging. Or it could just remembering from when I was a kid. I'd have to look that up. But we used to have capital punishment, and a person like that, you don't want to be let out in society. They're danger to people. So if what was it? Okay, now basically on the same lines. This was in BC. There was a man getting released because he did his time, and all the people that were, understood this guy said, do not release this man. He will reoffend. He did multiple sexual assaults. And they're like, he will reoffend if you let him out. It's a guarantee thing.
Yeah.
They're like, well, he did this time. He got to do it. And I think it was within a week, he did it again. And everybody was surprised. They're like, we didn't see this coming. It's like, we told you. He will reoffend. Though, I mean, it's like, those kind of people either need to be put in solitary confinement indefinitely or properly executed.
Yeah.
It's like a proper trial, not just like, oh, we don't like you, we're just gonna... And there was like no shadow of a doubt, like this guy, there was like DNA evidence. It's like...
Well, hey, you know what? We're bringing back debtors' prisons, apparently. So maybe we can bring back some asylums and stuff, too.
Yeah.
I mean... Let's put the crazies and whatnot in there.
When you have someone very dangerous, it's like someone... and it's usually women and children who get assaulted this way. Because nobody's going to go, oh, I'm going to get that guy. Because the guy's going to fight back.
And when I say crazies, I was not meaning, I'm not meaning, mentally ill, like if somebody has like bipolar or, something like that. Like I'm not talking about, or depression or whatever. I'm not talking about that kind of mental illness. I'm talking about like...
I'm going to feed you to pigs kind of
mental
crazy.
Illness. Yeah. Yeah. If we can't just kill them, there's got to be some kind of place for them. But, yeah, so the lady that said her cousin, she's talking about her cousin, she said that her case was no exception, and there was 19 other investigations against Picton that were stayed because the Crown had secured 6 convictions.
That's not... They should have went with all of them. Like every last one of them.
Yeah. And there was another lady that at the end of the article, she said she didn't even know. Apparently there was it last year or 2 years ago? Last December. Apparently... According to the Toronto Sun, the RCMP asked permission to destroy around 14,000, that's a lot, pieces of evidence related to investigations against Picton, and this was last December. And apparently some of the victims' families weren't even notified that this even happened. Yeah, that they even...
Because they'll be like, oh, we don't have that... evidence anymore. It got destroyed. It's like, you destroyed it.
Yeah.
And it's like they were digging up on the property. They were finding purses and pairs of shoes.
Ooh.
And other articles of clothing, like glasses, whatever probably couldn't be pawned off.
Yeah.
And it's like, it wasn't just like couple, it was a lot, so there's probably more than 49 women that were murdered.
Well, you should tell your little story about well, not your little story, but the story that was it Gareth?
Yeah. So, buddy of mine, Gareth, I work with, he lived around that area, and one night one of his friends was delivering pizza, and he's driving down this road near the pig farm. In the middle of the road, a woman is running down the road. She's covered in blood and she's naked. And he's en route to deliver a pizza. He stops, brings this woman in his car, and he drives to the closest hospital. And of course, she's in distress.
One would think.
And he brought her into emergency. The police were called because it's one of those incidents, if, obviously there's some kind of an assault, police are always called. Mm-hmm. And they're basically a roundabout way saying it doesn't matter, she's just a whore. Mm. What happened to her? It doesn't matter, just a whore.
Wow.
It's like, that's nice.
Yeah. But it's kind of like Epstein's Island, right? Like you keep finding out as the lists are being released, all these people that have visited or frequented Epstein's Island, and it's kind of, with the RCMP, it's like, oh well, the RCMP wouldn't do anything about it, so maybe some of the RCMP be involved in some kind of way, some of them, because they wanted to destroy 14,000 pieces of evidence.
Yeah.
I mean, something fishy is happening.
It's like you wouldn't destroy evidence if it was against you. You'd be like, no, we're keeping this.
Yeah.
It's evidence. You don't destroy evidence.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what, do you not want to lead it back to you?
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
I'd be like, so you're guilty of doing this. No, I'm not. I'm only going to assume because you want to destroy it and you could be connected to this or one of these
But
items.
apparently there was other people that were thought to be involved and working with this Picton guy, Robert Picton. But none of them, absolutely none of them, were charged with anything.
Because they probably had money.
Yeah. People
of power, of influence of some nature, and it's like, this will go away.
Yeah.
Like when Trudeau, there's ethics violations. Well, one of the people that he picked to do the investigation was his father-in-law. He handpicked.
How ethical.
It's like, are you serious? It's like they should just pick random people, kind of like jury duty.
Yeah.
You, just all over. Just pick them from Alberta.
Oh man. You'd be hanging from the nearest tree.
I don't think there's a single Albertan that likes that guy.
Oh
my gosh. When he went to the Calgary Stampede, he was getting booed. They're like throwing rocks, like little rocks and garbage and everything at him.
Wow.
And when he went to do like the arena or stadium there, they had to clear it out of people. So he could do his little interview because the booing was so loud.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's like,
you're appreciated when.
I know there's a lot of politicians that are unpopular. Mm-hmm. But I don't think
he's the most unpopularist.
But he's like the least liked in all of Canadian history for a prime minister.
Mm-hmm. I believe that.
You got to clear a stadium so they could hear you talking over the booing.
Do you think he would blame Harper for that too?
He'll blame anybody. He's a narcissist.
I know. But I'm just saying he likes to blame Harper for everything. So I'm just saying, like, do you think he would try and blame Harper for people not liking him?
Yeah, more than likely. If Justin Trudeau crapped his pants, you'd blame somebody. Oh, it's your fault that I crapped my pants. Like, nothing's his fault.
No, that's true.
And there's... watching him in the House. Don't watch a House of Commons. Do not watch a House of Commons because it's going to tick you off.
I have no intention of watching the House of Commons. I can't.
Because it's just, when he's asked a simple yes or no question, he goes on a little tangent about something.
I can't.
But
I just can't.
I guess this is my last one, and this goes in way more depth. This is massive. I could take 3 hours to try to cover this, and probably couldn't fully.
Well, goodness gracious, I don't think my phone would have enough
power. So, and this is kind of covering one state. In Oklahoma, there's, or in the area, there's around 7,000 marijuana farms. It's legal. People are trying to make a buck, but with that many, there's too much supply for the demand. But about 3,000 of that are under investigation for being tied in with the Chinese government.
Oh.
So they're finding illegals. Like I mentioned the other Saturday about how Chinese people are flooding through.
Okay, yeah.
And disappearing. A lot of them are doing illegal work like this. So they make money. They'll make American dollars and send it back to China.
So, just curious, because I don't know, because I'm not illegal.
Yeah.
I'm a U.S. citizen, so I wouldn't have to be. But how does a person come over illegally and still work?
Well, you have, if you think...
Somebody just pays you under the table? Is that what is... Okay.
And there's a lot of... Then they actually have...
I was going to say, because if you're doing things properly, you got to pay taxes, you got to have all the forms and all the,
And you could just go more in depth about how many illegals are actually coming in. And they're closing down schools to house these illegal people. And giving them money and health care and everything at the cost of the American people. Taxpayers are paying millions upon millions of dollars to...
What schools are closing?
All throughout the states. So you can't go to school because your school's full of illegal immigrants.
So what do they do? Just buy out the school? You can buy out a restaurant or something? Or
just the government shutting the school down. So the kids...
Our government or Chinese government?
No, not the Chinese, the U.S. government. So the local governments are going, well, we need to house these people. So
because... Okay.
So they're not turning them away at the border.
Right.
They're not arresting them and sending them away. They're just welcoming them in and giving them everything, phones, money. Oh, yeah. But anyways.
So kind of like Canada's doing.
Yeah, very similar. But they'll have retainers. Someone's legally allowed there, but they work for the Chinese government. And they're doing all this paperwork and having, they'll pay you to have this farm. So on paper, but the Chinese government's paying for everything. So you're just like a front man. They have all these things. They have all this money. And it's estimated about China has $2 trillion of foreign money hoarded up.
Wow.
And if you don't know what a trillion is, it's 1,000 billions.
Wow.
But there was one incident The man was Chinese. He came in to one of these farms, demanded $300,000 that was owed to him, or he felt was owed to him. He killed 4 people, injured 1, and that guy got away, got to the police. But there's like that's just one incident. There's thousands of these. They're seeing problems, but they get through all the red tape and everything else. They can't keep up with it because they'll shut one down and 5 pop up. So there's so much happening. They don't have the resources to actually start effectively shutting these down. And they're doing it by the books. But I think the problem is, you see a lot, how the Chinese government is playing chess, while the U.S. government's playing checkers. You won't win. What they need to do, they need to get the military in and go, shut down, grab these guys, and send them back.
Yeah.
And keep on doing it. Find anybody that's attached to it, any money, seize that money, and then you would actually see some numbers go down. But
having Trump in office wouldn't help, or wouldn't hurt as well, because when he was in office, he kept China in check.
Yeah, he did.
And they weren't running rampant all over us and our government.
When, again, the last time when I said there's like a $93 billion defense contract kind of thing it's like 20 of that was supposed to go on a southern wall for the United States. But at the end, they scrapped it. They have $60 billion to help Ukraine's border and fund Ukraine to defend that border, but not their own border. It's like, because when foreign aid, it's like they don't just give a pile of money, here you go. It's usually in weaponry, like all sorts, military vehicles, ammunition, small arms, big arms, and howitzers, whatever it is, they're funding, and here it is. But how they get that stuff, they need weapons manufacturers. So if I make all these guns and tanks and bombs and jets, you give me that money. Then I go, here you go, here's some. Then I don't spend all the money because I'm taking my cut.
Yeah.
And they do that. They've done that forever. Throughout time, people who have, I want this money, to all my friends. So I'll just say it's for this. Money gets spread evenly, and it's perpetual. Keeps on going. That's going to keep on going. And once Ukraine is done, or Israel and Palestine, there's going to be something else where they need to spend money on foreign aid.
So, with that in mind, what you just were saying, do you think then it's possible that these wars or conflicts or whatever are started intentionally so that governments will have places like that and whatever to launder their money through?
Absolutely. Because so far, the United States has given $120 billion to Ukraine. And it happened to one very wealthy Ukrainian, like very wealthy, donated in digital currency like Bitcoin or whatever, $10 million to the Democratic Party. You're like, huh.
Something to definitely think about there.
But it's like, where is this money going? And when people were asked, where is this money getting spent? Like, show us your receipts. Oh, we can't. We don't have any. We don't know where it went. It's 120 billion. I want to know where my money went.
Yeah. Wow.
But there's a lot of people in the United States government and the Canadian government and governments all in the world. Open borders. That's horrible. Have closed borders. Have secure borders. You have a lock on your door. At night, you lock it. Put a latch on, whatever. You don't let anybody walk in your house. Who are they? Have a secure border.
Yeah.
Vent people who are coming in. Who are you? What are you doing here? Why? Legitimate questions. You don't know who they are.
Yeah.
It's like protect your country, protect your citizens. That's the job of the government. And another job of the government is to uphold the Constitution, or in Canada, Charter of Rights. That's their job. It's not their job to say, oh, you can't say this, it could be hurtful.
Yeah.
Might hurt someone's feelings. It's like, okay. But they get the wrong idea. So you have, and with all these crops, you got lots of crime coming with it, because they're shooting each other. Like, the guy came in, where's my money, and killed 4 people.
Yeah. Well,
And he got caught. He's arrested. But it's like and when people are investigating this, they get just stonewalled. They get nowhere. It's like, we know you're doing this, and they don't really care, because it's like, what are you going to do? This gets shut down. I can open another one here, and they do, because there's so much money involved. People are getting bribed. And it's horrible.
wow.
Because China wants to destroy the West. United States and Canada, he wants to destroy the whole thing so they could have no opposition.
Well, they don't really have opposition with Canada anyway. They're kind of, holding hands.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Trudeau is anyways. And if we had to fight China, oh, take off, you hoser. I got my hockey stick, eh? Hit you right in the shin.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, man. Wow.
Did you cover all your...
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Okay.
So we,
Going
wow.
through James.
We
again,
are, yes.
3rd chapter.
Let's see.
Paula could read hers.
Yes, because I
she hates mine.
do not like... I marked it here somewhere. Where is it here? I do not like his because it's
King James.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to bring him over to, a different trying out different versions or whatever, but
Look at the Geneva Bible.
I'm not sure what that even is.
It's a Bible before, one of the versions of the Bible before the King James was written.
Ah. I'll just get you a copy of the Dead Sea Scrolls or something. And
That'd be fantastic.
Roll it. Wow, that would be fantastic. It would be amazing.
Where do you have my Dead Sea Scrolls? Let me just...
Wow.
Just don't drink your coffee around it.
Jeez. Okay, so we are reading through...
See if Amazon has it.
The Dead Sea Scrolls.
Or copies of it.
Copies. Yeah. Anyway, we were reading through James. And with all the corruption and craziness happening in the world, you know, James teaches us how to live and how to live right, how to live well. And, you know, righteously and holy, and how to have wisdom and all this stuff. So I thought that would be, it had been on my heart for a while, the book of James. And so when we decided to start this, I was like, why don't we just incorporate it, you know, because people need to be, obviously, with all the corruption and everything, people aren't being taught anymore how to live how to live right. He just had some Orajel and he put a little smiley face on his finger. That's what he was showing me.
Because it makes me smile.
Because you're no longer in pain. So yeah. So anyway, so we read, go back and if you are interested, either read it for yourself or you go back and watch the first 2 episodes. But we're in James chapter 3 now. So I'm just going to read through that, and if there's any points or whatever that we wanted to make, we can stop and talk about it and whatnot along the way. So yeah, if you have anything to say, feel free to... No, but I'm saying as we go, feel free to chime in. Listen. Wow. Tell me what to do. Lord have mercy. Controlling the tongue. Dear brothers and sisters, not many of you should become teachers in the church. For we who teach will be judged more strictly. And I believe that's not just by God being judged more strictly, but being judged by, other people. Because, like, Christians are heavily judged. People are looking at us all the time. Oh, you claim to be a Christian, but you did this, or you did that, or you thought this, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you're judged. People are looking for you to make a mistake. But, like, if you're in a position of authority, a position of leadership or whatever, like in the church, you're looked at much more heavily and you're more closely examined under that microscope. Why can I not speak today?
I don't
know. But anyway, yeah, so in both ways, you're going to be judged more strictly. Indeed, we all make mistakes. So that's right there. Pastors, just because you're a pastor or a teacher or whatever of the Bible or whatnot, everybody makes mistakes. So, it doesn't matter. They're not exempt. For if we could control our tongues, we would be perfect and could also control ourselves in every other way. In verse 3, we can make a large horse go wherever we want by means of a small bit in its mouth. And a small rudder makes a huge ship turn wherever the pilot chooses to go, even though the winds are strong. In the same way, the tongue is a small thing that makes grand speeches. But a tiny spark can set a great forest on fire. And among all the parts of the body, the tongue is a flame of fire. And that's interesting how it was depicted in Acts 2, too. It was tongues of fire. Mm-hmm. It's just funny how they call it. They're referring, likening it to that as well here. It is a whole world of wickedness, corrupting your entire body. It can set your whole life on fire, for it is set on fire by hell itself. Wow. People can tame all kinds of animals, birds, reptiles, and fish, but no one can tame a tongue. It is restless and evil, full of deadly poison. Sometimes it praises our Lord and Father, and sometimes it curses those who have been made in the image of God. And so blessing and cursing come pouring out of the same mouth. Surely, my brothers and sisters, this is not right. Does a spring of water bubble out with both fresh water and bitter water? Does a fig tree produce olives or a grapevine produce figs? No, and you can't draw fresh water from a salty spring. I like that. You can't draw fresh water from a salty spring. So like, oftentimes refer to fresh water being having like a sweet taste or whatever. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily sweet, but that's how it's referenced or whatever.
Well, earlier mine says yields same place as sweet water and bitter.
Oh, okay. See, there you go. Yeah, and then it says from a salty spring. So like if you're being bitter and salty, you can't also be sweet at the same time. You know, like. Did you have anything to add in that section there?
No. I was going to say, Fern tries to be salty and sweet at the same time.
Fern? Where is Fern anyway?
I don't know.
There's Oscar.
Probably not.
She was eating. I heard her crunching very loudly earlier, so that you might hear some crunching on the video. She was eating. Anyway. So, verse 13, true wisdom comes from God. If you are wise and understand God's ways, prove it by living an honorable life, doing good works with the humility that comes from wisdom. But if you are bitterly jealous and there is a selfish ambition in your heart, don't cover up the truth with boasting and lying. For jealousy and selfishness are not God's kind of wisdom. Such things are earthly, unspiritual, and demonic. For wherever there is jealousy and selfish ambition, there you will find disorder and evil of every kind. Verse 17, but the wisdom from above is first of all pure. It is also peace-loving, gentle at times, and willing to yield to others. It is full of mercy and the fruit of good deeds. It shows no favoritism and is always sincere. And those who are peacemakers will plant seeds of peace and reap a harvest of righteousness. So right there, if you wanna get wisdom, it comes from God. Ask Him. And if you want righteousness, it's for you.
Yeah.
His phone just went up. And if you want righteousness, right here it's telling you how to get it, or one of the ways to go about it. Your coffee's not helping?
No.
Did you have anything to add about that part there?
Not that I can think of. Nothing comes to mind right now.
Yeah, I love that where they talk about wisdom in verse 17. It sounds almost like they're in Corinthians when they, for the love chapter or whatever, and they talk about, love is patient, love is kind, like all, etc. All of the things. They were talking about wisdom here and saying all of the things that it is. It's first of all pure and peace-loving, gentle at times. Gentle at all times. Sorry. That makes sense. Makes a difference. It's gentle at all times and willing to yield to others, full of mercy and fruit of good deeds. It shows no favoritism and is always sincere. So I just thought that was kind of cool that, it just, to me, it just kind of clicked with the love chapter there. And was it Corinthians 13? But
it says in that chapter that love doesn't envy and it's not boastful as well. And just like, oh, this is neat because it says... It
correlates well. Yeah.
Well, this has been fun.
Yeah. And next week we're covering James 4. And a whole bunch of new news articles. So if you enjoyed what we had to say so far, like I said, give us a thumbs up and
like and share.
Yeah,
and
share
all
the
that kind of
share our video
stuff.
And hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so that you get notified whenever we post a new video. And I post other videos. It's on the Paula Passionately Proclaims channel on YouTube, and is where we're posting these. And so I post other videos throughout the week as well. So there you might see some videos, you might see some shorts. I'm doing a Bible study. We're going chronologically through the New Testament. Right now, we just started.
It's wearing off. I'm sorry.
He's taking some Tylenol because his tooth pain.
It's fun.
Monday's coming.
All the time.
Monday is coming.
2 days.
2 days, yeah. So yeah, you might see something else we're going that you might catch your eye, you might find interesting. And like I said, once or twice a week we're going through in the evenings the New Testament chronologically, and we just started. I think we're in today. I think the third episode we just did, so it's not that far in. You can quickly catch up.
It's easy to catch up.
Yeah, because we're only doing a couple chapters or whatever at a time, sometimes less, and then just talking about it as we go along, kind of like what we just did here. But yeah, so if you have any questions or comments or whatever, just drop those down below, and we'll be sure to
get back to you.
And try and answer any questions you might have.
And if we get enough people liking and following, we could actually do this live.
Yeah, that would be something. That would be cool. Yeah, but. Yeah, I think that's all we got for this week. So we'll see you next Saturday. And go check out some of the other stuff that I've got on my channel, and you can watch the 2 episodes we've done before this as well, to catch up on James, or to catch up on our banter news articles. You can meet our kitties in one of the videos. I think it's the first one, I want to say. I introduced them. They're wandering about.
They're sleeping now.
But yeah, so we'll see you next week and next Saturday and for some more.
Yep. Stay alert and stay safe.
Yes. Bye, guys. Bye.